from the car community's perspective, we used to have to go through very great lengths in order to make body panels for the cars and really look at a vision that we have for that vehicle. But now with 3D printing, we have a powerful tool in order to not only make these panels and see our vision come to life, but also make changes on the fly. And so for us in the car community, I think we are pretty much there with the costs coming down. The amazing printers that Creality puts out has really allowed us to do the things that we want.
Fantastic. So as I would call you a maker car expert, where do you see 3D printing technology making the biggest advancements in the automotive industry?
So I think from my perspective, it would be basically 3D metal printing, being able to get that to the hobbyist so that we can actually expand that power that we own for doing like body panels and things like that to actually doing suspension components and other things of that nature. That would be very powerful to us.
Wow, that's amazing. Sterling, honestly, thank you for your insight. You really are an inspiration to fathers everywhere. Now, let's give it up for Sterling. So Sterling's story of introducing advanced tools to his son reflects a global trend that we're seeing. 3D printers are becoming central to STEM education, both at home and in schools. Educators are launching fab labs, tech clubs, and using these tools to inspire hands-on learning. In the hands of passionate teachers like our next speaker, 3D printers are more than classroom devices. They're catalysts for a brighter, more dynamic future for all. Who better to comment on this than our next speaker, Rick Womack, lab manager and milestone instructor at Purdue University, who leads the renowned Purdue 3D Printing Club, empowering students with the latest in Creality technology. Rick, tell us a little about your efforts at Purdue.
Thank you, Duke. Our efforts were, we got introduced to 3D printing, and we discovered that there was a lot of maintenance, and this is 20 years ago. So there was a lot of maintenance involved with, in between each model. So we decided to get some students involved, create a club, and where they could learn all about maintaining the machines, and that has evolved into building the machines, creating models, CAD, scanning, and all of these other things. I think that's it for that first answer, yeah.
Right. So, with your unique perspective, do you think 3D printing itself will become a subject of study on its own, or will it just be a tool like a pencil?
So I believe that the 3D printing will develop as a field of study, and I also believe it's going to turn into a full-blown collegiate major. Because students should learn about printer design, the actual printer and the different environments it could be in at your home, on Mars, and anywhere in between. Students should learn about the maintenance of the printer and its durability. We believe that students should learn about various material types and those material capabilities. We also think that we should focus on model output and the quality of the models. We believe that students will also learn about scanners and lasers in this process as a family of machines around 3D printing. So we have seen 3D printing advance greatly over the past 20 years. And now is the time to make this a real subject of study. And even a new study field like machine design. So that's what I have for that.
Right. So, that leads me to my next question. Now, the basic concepts in technology of 3D printing carry over to so many industries. How do you think 3D printers will change the educational sector when it comes to learning how to incorporate it in so many of these separate interdisciplinary subjects?
So many of us know when you're in school, there's always a project due. And, you typically had to cut some cardboard or something and glue something together. Now you can 3D print it. And I see students from all majors at Purdue University, and there are 14 different engineering majors. But we see this in music, in the field of food research, and et cetera. Art, the list goes on, and 3D printing is involved in all of these things.
Fantastic. That's absolutely amazing. Now, I really actually envy the opportunity that students have these days using tools and technology. This is stuff that I only saw in science fiction stories when I was a kid. What once felt like science fiction, like 3D printed organs, 3D printed bionic hands, it's quickly, obviously becoming a reality. 3D printing is disrupting the prosthetics and wearables field, with Creality technology enabling everything from expandable prosthetics for growing children to custom braces and orthotics. We are making the inaccessible accessible. And who better to talk to about this than this subject than our next speaker, mechanical engineer and part-time cyborg, Ian Davis. Ian, it's honestly a pleasure to have you. I've actually followed your journey from the very beginning, and your transformation of a major obstacle in your life into innovation in prosthetics is truly inspiring. Share your story.
Thanks, Duke. So first, I'd like to thank everybody that's been following along with my progress on my YouTube channel. I really appreciate all your support and all your suggestions that I reach in the comment section. For those that aren't aware, I run the YouTube channel Missing Parts Club, where my project's main focus is to design, develop, and eventually bring to market, make available a DIY mechanical partial hand prosthetic device in a DIY format, where the end user is responsible for fitting and finishing the fingers and then casting their residual limb and building their interface socket. This would sidestep, clinician and the reliance on, the medical field when your device ends up failing, because everything mechanical will eventually need maintenance fail. You will be intimately familiar with how the device works, and you'll be able to repair it yourself. Same thing with the socket. When you lose weight, gain weight, or the socket just stops fitting as it should, since you built the original socket, you know how to trim, how to refit it to where it's going to fit your residual limb and be more comfortable, as your device wears. My story actually starts on this part in 2018 when I lost the finger